Good morning, this is Rabbi Shlomo, Furst here at Yeshiva Tsama Nafshi. We're learning Hilchos Shofars now. We'll get to halachas sooner or later, but now we're going to do the methodology of blowing shofar. This is Yeshiva Tsama Nafshi here in Yerushalyim, HaKodesh, located on HaKodesh Zikron Yaakov number 6, not too far from the central bus station, so we can walk from there, you can take a car. If you're driving, there's parking across the street, buses are available, and especially if you're coming from Chutz La'aretz, join us in our many shiurim that we have to offer you, and our hope and prayer is that we can enrich your visit to Yerushalyim with as much Torah, with as much Siyata D'Shmaya as possible to make it enriching and wonderful for you in all ways possible. Blowing shofar on Rosh Hashanah is a mitzvah d'oraisa, and we'll be having a series of shiurim which are going to be demonstrating and giving you the tools and the training you need to be able to blow a shofar, not only for yourself or maybe your loved ones or perhaps in shul if necessary, but it's a very important skill to have, because many times you'll find that people not necessarily can always make it to shul at the time when the Tekiah shofars will be being blown, and will make their Rosh Hashanah much more relaxing if they know that they can rely on you at a specific time, another time during the day, to blow for them, or you can even visit them in their homes and blow for them if they're, say, elderly or not well enough to come to shul, let's say they're living with children. So it's something which, with a little bit of practice and training, you'll be able to learn, and we'll discuss also about how to pick out a shofar and the things that are necessary to know about buying a shofar, and how to keep a shofar in good condition. And it's something which can last for you your whole life long. It's a strong, bony material made to last on the head of an animal, a ram or a goat, for its whole life in general. And it can stay by you and be with you for your whole life as well. So it's a good investment in your time and in your money if you decide to buy a shofar. The first step in learning to blow a shofar in the way I like to teach it, there are many different ways you can approach blowing shofar, but I always like to do with the hum. A person, when he probably learns sooner or later along the line of his growing up, he learned how to hum, which is something which is not so difficult. Ask anybody to hum, they'll automatically go into a hum, right? So if you hum, right, this is the beginning of the sound which you have to make, which is going to be amplified by the shofar. The shofar is the horn, which is basically to amplify your sound, which you're going to be making primarily from your lips. Now when you're humming, usually the hum is coming from the lower part of the mouth, perhaps even down further from the throat, right? And you're humming, hum, hum, hum. That sound is something which you're already able to do. So I want you to practice that, right? And when you get that sound smooth and get a nice resonance to that sound, right? That's going to be the key to transferring that sound into the shofar. So that'll be the next shir that we're going to have. In the meantime, I want you to practice the humming, which is something you can do when you are by yourself, when you're walking, going from place to place. Even if you're in public, a person who's humming these days probably wouldn't attract too much attention as long as it's not too loud. But something you can do constantly. I would suggest, if you want to practice on a regular basis, try and pick some type of activity which you do on a regular basis. Let's say if you're walking up some steps to go to a certain office, perhaps where you work, when you're walking to shul, from your car to shul, right? So during that time, when you're exiting your car, going to shul, that few minutes or so maybe it takes to get from the parking lot, or even when you're in the car, right? Decide when you're driving to shul, that's going to be your time to practice the hum. And all you're going to do is practice humming. Hum, 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 humming. You want to hum and you want to get a resonance to that hum. Hum, hum. And the more resonance you get to that hum, you're going to feel it in your head. Your head's going to start vibrating, right? You're going to feel a little tingling in the ears, perhaps, right? If you do it really loud, your teeth might begin to shatter a little bit. But you want to work on that hum. Soon, that hum is going to be transferred to another place in your head, right? I'm not going to tell you where that's going to be transferred, so I want you to concentrate on the humming right now. The humming will be transferred eventually to where it's going to have to be working in unison with the shofar. But the first key to this is the hum, hum, and practice. You can tune in to the next year if you like, but I suggest until you've really gotten the hum really well down in its resonance, and it's like you want to get like a harmonious sound, right? And you can do songs to yourself also. See, the practice doing any kind of hum you want. The main thing is to perfect that technique of getting the hum, right? When you've got that technique very well perfected, then you can tune into the next year. Right? Work on it until you've got that perfected. It shouldn't take too long. Like I've said, sooner along the line, you picked up the humming technique, and now you just have to concentrate on doing it in a professional manner, right? Once you've done that, move on to the next year, which you should be able to see on our website. You'll just click on there, and we'll be waiting for you. Have a good day.